checking if the pizza is kosher after he already ate 3 slices. This time, we continue on the journey of Parsha Metzorah, a Parsha famous for skin conditions, suspicious hair, and a Kohen basically doing what looks like the Torah's version of a dermatology appointment. Yes, the Torah literally has a system where someone examines your skin and hair and decides if you're tahor or tameh, which means thousands of years before WebMD, the Torah already had people saying, that spot doesn't look great. But behind all that is really a deep idea. Nothing in life happens by accident. The Torah teaches that sometimes a person's entire spiritual status depended on something incredibly tiny, like one hair. If certain white hairs appeared inside a skin mark, boom, the person could become tameh. And that raises the obvious question. Seriously? A person's fate depends on hair? I mean, imagine explaining that today. Doctor, sir, we ran the tests. Patient, yeah, how bad is it? The doctor says, well, it all depends on that one hair. What do you mean, one hair? But the Torah is teaching something huge here. Something that small can matter that much. Then it means nothing in the world is random. Every detail in life is under hashgata pratis, divine providence. Even the things that seem microscopic, even things we think are coincidences. Even that moment when you open the fridge 5 times, hoping new food magically appears. And then the Midrash tells us that Ayav once questioned Hashem. He basically asked, Hashem, are you sure you're keeping track of everything down here? Like maybe there was a cosmic mix-up. Maybe someone meant to say Oyev, enemy, but accidentally said Ohav, friend. Maybe the system glitched when autocorrect ruins your message. When you try to text someone, looking forward to Shabbos, and your phone says, looking forward to Shabbos. H-A-B-B-O-U-S, not B-O-S. Now, everyone thinks you're starting a new holiday, but Hashem answers Layav with something powerful. If the laws of biology, chemistry, and the entire universe are calculated down to the smallest detail, then obviously the events of a human life are also guided with perfect precision. Nothing slips through the cracks. Hashem doesn't run this universe like a giant group chat where half the messages get ignored. Everything is measured. Everything has purpose. We see this idea again with Yosef and his brothers. When they go down to Egypt, things start going wrong really fast. First, they're accused of being spies. Then Shimon gets thrown in jail. Then they find money mysteriously returned in their bags. At that point, the brother stops and says something incredible. What is this, Hashem? What have you done to us? They didn't say, wow, Egyptian customs officials are really intense. They said, this must mean something. Because when something happens, the Torah teaches us not to just shrug and say, coinkadink. Sometimes, life is Hashem tapping us on the shoulder, saying, hey, pay attention, that's not a coincidence. There's also an amazing story about a Kohen who specialized in diagnosing tsaras. But he was extremely poor, so he decides, that's it, I'm leaving Eretz Yisrael to go make money somewhere else. But before leaving, he starts teaching his wife how to diagnose the signs. He explains every hair from its own tiny follicle, its own little groove in the skin. If the moisture dries up, the hair weakens. Basically, he's giving her a full dermatology lecture. His wife listens and then says something brilliant. Wait a second. If Hashem created a special source of nourishment for every single hair on a person's body, don't you think he can also provide for you? Boom. Mic drop. She basically told him If Hashem feeds billions of hairs on billions of people, I think he can handle your grocery bill. The Kohen hears this and stays in Eretz Yisrael. And sure enough, Hashem provides for him. Then the Sefer Chavos Halevavos describes different levels of bitachon, trust in Hashem. And they actually follow a pattern that sounds suspiciously like growing up. Level 1. A baby trusts its mother for everything. Food, safety, comfort. Level 2. The child grows and starts trusting his parents. Level 3. A teenager suddenly thinks, I am the master of my destiny, which basically means I watched 3 motivational videos and I understand life. And then, level 4. Adults start believing their career is what sustains them. My job supports me. My business supports me. My boss supports me. Then eventually a person realizes, actually, a lot of things are beyond human control, health, unexpected events, the economy, the weather, the Wi-Fi going down 5 minutes before a deadline. And slowly a person realizes the real provider behind everything is Hashem. The job is just the delivery service. Hashem is the sender. The highest level of bitachon is when a person understands that everything ultimately comes from Hashem. Not the job, not the boss, not the system. Those are just the tools. Just like ordering a package, you don't thank the cardboard box, you thank the sender. Unless the box arrives crushed, then you blame the delivery guy. But the Torah perspective is, Hashem runs every detail, even the small ones. Even the ones that look random. Even the ones that look like one tiny hair. And the takeaway is that Parsha Metzorah is teaching us something wild. If Hashem is paying attention to the growth of a single hair, he's definitely paying attention to your life, your struggles, your parnassah, your challenges, your wins. Nothing is unnoticed. Nothing is random. And maybe next time something strange happens in life, instead of saying, wow, what are the odds? We can say what Yosef's brothers said. What is Hashem trying to show me? This has been CHAISPEED TORAH, where the Torah moves fast, the lessons move faster, and the dermatology advice is still 3,300 years ahead of modern medicine. See you next time. Goodbye.